I don't understand what is pure music. That's my problem. I don't even know if such a thing exists. I think instead of fighting for purity in music, I think people should just spend time listening to more music. With respect to taking Carnatic music as an art form to people, I think every artist has that responsibility, which is to take the art to as many people, as diverse as an audience as possible.
So can you take us through the process of how a Tyagaraja Kriti becoming Swans of Saraswati?
It is incidental that I have training in Carnatic music. Most of the others don't. I am just somebody who just came with a different candy in the pocket, if you know what I mean. So you just throw that in and it's a new dessert.
So we have Mr. Harish Sivaramakrishnan of the Agam band. The Agam band is quite known to have broken a lot of norms and also been in the industry for such a long time. Also experimenting with the Carnatic music means breaking a lot of formats and also semantics and breaking a lot of conventions, which you guys have done through these years. So could you please elaborate on that?
Nothing premeditated. I think every art out there is capable of being improvised upon. So breaking is not the idea. I think it is about taking a form of art and trying to put your interpretation on top of that. And sometimes when you do your thing, it tends to get a little different from what it is, what it conventionally is. So I think our experiments have been to take a form of art and try and do our bit on top of it and create something a little tangential from what is generally heard. And in the process of that, yeah, we have probably ended up doing things differently, and there has been some amount of a departure from the traditional way the Carnatic classical music that we play has evolved into. We have evolved into a style which is a little bit of a departure from the conventional style. But I wouldn't argue that it was not premeditated. I do not think we came with the idea of let's go change something, let's break something, or let us create something new. I think it's very organic when you do something and things turn out a particular way. So yeah, I think as years have passed, there is always interest for different interpretations of music, and people are far more open to newer styles of music or newer sounds being experimented upon. So that's broadly it. I think it becomes very hard if you have to come with an opinion that, oh, let me just come in and let me change something or let me bring about something new. Nothing new gets created like that. I think it has to organically happen, and that's what happened with us.
Also, you have brought Carnatic music to those who really, ardently follow the music, and also to those who do not really follow it. And in the middle of that, there was a lot of criticism over the genre that you guys created, like, not being original and all. And how do you really deal with the dissent that comes up?
Look, I think as a creative outfit, I think as much as you get appreciation and as much as you get support, I think you get equal shares of criticism, because no art out there has ever succeeded in resonating with every single person out there. So criticism with respect to what we have created is most welcome. I think it helps us re-evaluate. It helps us look inwardly to see how better can we be the next time we put something together, and how can we make our music stand out better. So criticism from an artistic lens, criticism from a musical lens that people have continuously given us, it has helped us evolve better as musicians. So I'm grateful to that. I think we are also subject to that resistance, if you may, but people resist things changing from what they have otherwise conventionally understood. I think the job of artists is to acknowledge that, but continue to pursue and push for what you believe is the right journey for you, and that's what we have been doing. And with respect to taking Carnatic music as an art form to people, I think every artist has that responsibility, which is to take the art to as many people, as diverse as an audience as possible. We just did that, and we are just happy that the music that we chose cut some barriers and went to places where it had erstwhile not gone. So we are very grateful that we got that opportunity, and we're very happy that we got the resonance back from the audience that we took Carnatic music to. But then again, that's what artists should do, and we are glad that we got a small part to play in that, and we're doing that. So very, very, very grateful to that.
Also, progressive rock music as a genre is quite complex when it comes to the lyrics and the composition and the direction. So could you please elaborate on the process?
I think every style of music, every genre of music has its idioms and grammar and vocabulary. So progressive rock music in general is complex when it comes to compositional integrity and time signatures. But it's a style that we have adopted. We enjoy it. We enjoy creating music in that subgenre, and also our other influence is Carnatic classical music, which in itself is very very amenable to progressive rock music, if you may. And I think the complexity is only when you look for like literally decoding the music or something. Like many a time listeners don't do all that. It's just that if it emotionally works for them, they just listen to it, and they're not probably dissecting it and thinking, oh, this is too complex and this is something which is hard. I don't think the audience has the time to go and break down a song like that. Some critique type people or somebody who's very deeply into that style might do that, but regular audience just wants to have a good time listening to a good piece of music, be entertained and feel good about it. I think that's what we are trying to do, except for the fact that the medium is progressive rock music.
There is a lot of puritanism associated with the Carnatic music genre, and maybe, and also during the initial years, you have faced a lot of criticism over it. What is your take on that?
Every art has people who are purists, and then there is also people who generally want to see how differently can you approach the art. So it is not a phenomenon just specific to Carnatic music. You'll see it in everything. Like if you actually, it is it's a side effect of being in art. I think there's always two diverse opinions that exist in the way people pursue art. I think we don't know what is really pure. Most of our understanding of something that is pure is anecdotal. Somebody told us this is pure. So I don't understand what is pure music. That's my problem. I don't even know if such a thing exists. I only know music the way I understand it. I only know music the way it was taught to me. I only understand the way music. I understand music the way I hear it. So for me, I never understood the idea of pure in art. I think instead of fighting for purity in music, I think people should just spend time listening to more music and learn about the art. That's how I would look at it.
Within the band, and you yourself have a lot of tech background. You have worked with the Google, Cred and Menzra and all. So how do you actually juggle between the composing the music, creating it, going with the band, and also having this full-time hectic job?
It's tough, but it's a function of wanting to do this. I think if it's a bit like our parents. I mean, if I think about it, if you ever had, I had a working mother. If you anybody who has had a working mother in the 90s would have, or 80s and 90s would have seen how they really managed to do so many things and then get to. I think it's a point of wanting to do something. I think we are interested in music. We are really passionate about it. We really want to make some sense out of the art that we have. We're all born with the birth lottery of being musicians. Fortunately for us, we are just saying, let's try. I mean, we're not getting any younger. And you don't know how long you can keep pushing yourself to do things that you're doing right now. But touch wood, right now we have the time, energy, health and the privilege to do what we are doing. So we just want to do as much as we can in the time that we have that.
Could you please share your thoughts about how a folk song influenced number like Kutti over Coffee came about?
I think Swami was the keyboardist. He had chanced upon Celtic music. A CD of a Scottish folk band. It was playing, and many of the scales that the pentatonic scales that the Celtic, Irish, Scottish musicians play have a lot of similarity to some of the pentatonic music that Indian classical music has. And randomly we just said maybe we should just sing one of our tunes on top of a sound like this and see, and earlier like bands like Corrs have done that. They've done Western music on top of Scottish, Irish folk music. So that is how it came about, and it sounded very refreshingly nice. It didn't sound like a typical South Indian folk song. And then these ideas flow, right? And what if we threw Tamil Nadu's ethnic folk percussion on top of this instead of the board round drums that Celtic music uses. So we threw that in, and we sat on that song for 3.5 years because we didn't think people would like it, because it was nothing like what people would have heard. Then it sounded different, and then we played some guitars on top of this. We did some choral arrangement on top of that. I think it just got layered like that, and I think Swami created that hook, which is gibberish, when ele ele something he just said, and it became ele and rasa hook. See, all this is just things falling in place. Yeah, it's that. So you hear one style of music, then you hear another one, then you hear another one, then you hear another one.
Is there any new projects that you are working on?
We are on the anvil of our third studio album, 7 songs, and we have done 7 new compositions. Also from a musical standpoint as well as from a production standpoint, it's the biggest that we have done, and we have attempted to do everything in our capacity to create something more meaningful than the music that we have created in the past. That's the idea. So we have some big collaborators on this. We will tour with them starting early 2025, touchwood. So that is the only thing we are working on right now. We are all focused on that, and we should get there. Yeah. And hopefully when I get a chance to speak to you next time, we'll have new songs to speak about.
It was really great interacting with you, and we look forward to your new creations and productions. Thank you so much.